Hey, welcome to Cronkite Percussion. This video comes to you from one of my students, Aiden, asking how do I make up my own fills. Well, it's a big topic. Fills are very personal to a lot of people, but there are definitely some nuts and bolts things you can do. So what I'm going to show you here is just one way of coming up with fills. Now, this is coming up with fills not in the context of playing a song, which is a very different thing, because you can't just throw any old fill in a song and hope that'll work unless it's a very kind of generic standard fill. That's fine. So the easiest thing to do is think about a march and just make up a march on the snare drum like this. That's what you got to do. Just play around with that. So here's an example. I'll do one bar of a drum beat and then one bar of just a made up march on the snare drum. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Like that. Do that a little bit to get used to the sticking and that sort of thing. And you don't have to make it complicated. You can just stick to 16ths and 8th notes. And remember, you can put rests in the 8th notes. So once you get comfortable with that and do it in a 2-bar phrase, which is what I was doing. So 1 bar of drum beat, then 1 bar of fill. That's the easiest way of doing it. Then start moving it around the kit, but don't do the whole kit all at once. Okay? Just say, okay, I'm going to go on the high tom for some of that fill. So here's an example. I know it's simple. Now you can also put in rests. Rests are like white space in books and papers and stuff. Create some white space in your fills. So here's an example. Okay. Now then you can start going, adding one more tom, let's say. Gradually start adding more. Now, the bass drum, surprise, surprise, is also a drum. It's a little more tricky if you're a beginner to put the bass drum into a fill, but it's a nice change and it's actually good practice for you. So here's an example. Now, not every fill has to end with a crash, so a lot of the times you want to stay away from the crash until maybe the end of a song. So that's a good way to get started on fills. Think about marches, start with the snare drum, add one more drum or cymbal, but drum's better, and then try adding another drum, and remember your bass drum is also a drum. So good luck. You'll get better if you keep practicing it.